Buenas noches, bienvenidos a Global Beat Sessions, el espacio donde exploramos el pulso de la música electrónica junto a los artistas que realmente están moviendo la escena en el ámbito de la música electrónica. Yo soy Hakko Zyeg y el día de hoy tenemos un invitado especial que vino a México a tocar, tocó apenas en un antro que algunas personas conocen aquí en la Ciudad de México, tocó en Midweek. Es un buen artista, ya muchos años en el género de la música electrónica. Es un placer tenerlo el día de hoy por acá. Queremos presentarle hoy a Ofier. How are you, Ofier?
I'm doing very
It's
well.
a pleasure to have you here in the studio with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, GBS. Thank you, Mexico City. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here. One of my favorite cities in the world. I've been coming here for quite some time now, so I'm truly blessed, and thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure, bro. It's nice you to come, and you have some time to be with you with us because you have just a little time in here, and we catch you, and you told me, okay, let's do it. Why not?
So, yeah, that was so cool. So I might set it. We'll give the audience a little context. So I was performing at Midweek, my first time headlining in Mexico City at Midweek, and sold out show, packed to the brim. My friends are like fighting security to get in. They're on the guest list and they can't even get in. It was so packed. It was like a surreal moment. And I finished my set, and then you and Paula come up to me from behind, and you start speaking to me in Hebrew. And I'm like, wait, what is going on? I'm hearing a Mexican accent and Hebrew at the same time. And my family's from Israel, and so I grew up learning Hebrew as a child because my parents spoke Hebrew to me. So it was such a trip for you guys to come up and be like, hey, manishma, makole. I'm like, what? Whoa, my people are here? This is cool.
Yeah, she told me, no, he's from Israel. He was living there. So I told you, like, I wanted to talk with him in English and also in Hebrew.
Yeah, it was so cool. And yeah, it was so nice to meet you, and I really appreciate you inviting me. It was an honor to be there, and you guys kidnapped me, brought me back to the studio, and I was like, well, all my friends already left. I've been packing up for like half an hour, and you guys were the last men standing, so we ended up at your place. You were gracious host. I saw the studio. I'm like, of course we're doing a podcast, brother. ¿Por qué no? Vamos.
Gracias por venir. How was you stay in Mexico, you stay here and going to different places. How was the art week here? Because it was crazy night, crazy week.
Yeah, Art Week is an incredible experience. I've been here about 4 or 5 times now, and it's always just so inspiring. Like, you see, it's kind of like Burning Man. You see people who come from all over the world just to express, and it's like unconditional love. Everybody comes, shows their art, is super creative. Everybody's dressed to the nines. Like, the walls are art, the buildings are art, the architecture, the culture, the food, everything is art. And then the people are art. Everyone's dressed up incredibly. It's just such an inspiring place. Yes. I love it every year that I come. I missed last year.
Is your first time here? In that week?
No. I've come like 4 or 5 times now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And my first time I came and I played at Phonique when they were first opening, and had an amazing time. And then 2 years ago was the last time I came. Well, fast forward. 2 years ago, I got to play for Chet Faker, who I grew up listening to like soul and blues and folk music and jazz. And I always loved Chet Faker's music, so it was really cool when they called me and they're like, hey, we have Chet Faker. We think it'd be really cool. You play the guitar. It'd be a really cool collab if you got to open up and close for him. So I got to play a 4-hour set right before Chet Faker. Sold out Chet Faker Club at Lulu. Crazy. And I was trying to set him up because he's very like soulful, sexy vibe, right? Yes. So I was keeping it chill, and people are still going crazy for the chill stuff. I'm like, this is the best city in the world. Like, I'm playing like back home in America, everybody plays hard, you know? Yeah. The music is very like push it in your face. And here it's more like pulling, it's reeling you in with the sound. So I was playing more of like a seductive set and more of a sensual set. And then I realized like, whoa, it's like midnight now. It's 1 a.m. The people are ready like to bring it up. And I'm like, where's Chet Faker? And they go, no, bro, Chet Faker isn't playing till like 4 in the morning. Like, light it up. So then I start to bring it up and just everyone's going nuts. Bottles are popping.
With the guitar and everything.
Yeah,
in there.
playing live guitar. Most of them thought I was Chet Faker because I was playing from like 11 p.m. all the way till 4 a.m. And it was just one of the best sets of my life. It was such a vibe. And I was hooked on Mexico City ever since. And so now I'm coming to Zonamaco every year. Like, if you haven't been...
Yes, you have to come here to Art Week. It's amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah, the food, the culture, the architecture, everything's so inspiring and so beautiful.
And tell us about your life. How you get in the music? Why you are working with electronic music? Why this gender? You know, because it's a lot like and more because you play guitar. You are a musician. Why you get in? Because no, like the people think almost the guys or the artists they play with instruments, just they play with bands or something, no?
Yeah.
But you say like, no, I want to do it like with myself, with my guitar, and do it with turntables.
Yeah. So I grew up in Los Angeles, and when I was 7 years old, my father bought me my first guitar. And he always wanted to play guitar. And he was a DJ in like 1969 in Israel, just throwing like parties for his friends. Okay. He used to play on vinyl records and playing like disco and funk and happy music and stuff like that. He didn't even tell me until like 10 years after I started DJing. And so I started off on guitar, and I was playing in, my first band was a ska band called Jacob Goes Postal.
Oh, wow.
And we were 14 years old. I barely like started playing the guitar, didn't even know how, because my father bought me the guitar when I was 7, but I wasn't listening to music. So I didn't really care. I didn't take it seriously. I went to one lesson. I learned like Louie, like dun 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 dun. Like that's all I knew how to play. And I let it sit there for like for probably like 6 years or something. And then when I got into junior high and I was in Los Angeles, and all the cool kids at school were playing in bands and they were playing music, and I started to listen to bands like punk rock, and I was like, whoa, I need to play guitar now. Like, and then I'm like, Dad, let me get those guitar lessons. Buy me a new guitar. He's like, hell no. Like, I bought you a guitar. You didn't take it seriously. I'm not, like, you're on your own, bud. And so then I got obsessed. I was like, oh, I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to figure it out.
I know. So I know I have it.
Yeah. And so I took this tiny little guitar. It was like basically a ukulele. And I start looking online. This is 1999 probably. So there was no YouTube. There was no online lessons. And I start digging on the internet, and I'm looking at, they were called forums back then. Now it's like the equivalent of a blog. So like people are teaching you how to play songs just by writing, like, oh, this is guitar tablature. Here's where you put your fingers. You strum, this is the BPM, figure it out. So I'm literally reading text, learning how to play guitar with no instructor.
Wow.
And so then after doing that for a few months, I'm like, fuck it, it's time to start a band. And I started playing in
but
that
ska band. You started in LA?
In LA, yeah.
With your friends?
Yeah, with just a few friends. We set up a drum kit in my parents' garage, and we just started playing. Then eventually we liked bands like Sublime and Less Than Jake. And so I was like 12 years old when I started really getting into it. And the band I started around 13 or 14. And so I just brought in a few of my friends. All of a sudden we had horn players, we found our bassist, and just formed a band, and we were terrible. Just none of us really knew how to play our instruments. We were learning, but it made us, the fact that we started the band, it made us meet every week. Yeah. And then I had to start practicing, and I had a reason to practice. It's not like I'm sitting there like, okay, what do I do? It's like, no, I have a goal. I want to write a song. And I started writing songs right away at like age 13. And I was writing like ska music and punk rock and pop punk and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
And then as I got older, I started getting into more like hardcore and stuff because I was like 16. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna dye my hair and like,
Yes, Metallica.
and
Gum,
yeah,
and
exactly. Started getting into Metallica. I learned the solo to Fade to Black. Started listening to Zeppelin, Ozzy Osbourne, stuff like that. And I was just obsessed with music. I just always would sit in my room and just obsess. And my parents would come in and they're like, get off the computer. I'm like, screw you guys, I'm learning this song right
But
now.
what's that your father? He just tell you like go on or no, you need to be an architect and that's it. And that's enough.
Well, at that age, I mean, I was like 12 years old, so he wasn't even talking about work.
No, but
they wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer for sure. Like, you know, my parents, they grew up in Israel, and it's really hard in Israel. It's hard to make money. Everything's very expensive. Everything has to be shipped there.
yes.
To buy a TV, it's 10 times more
10 times.
expensive. So they were struggling in Israel, and they were sick of all the war and stuff, and they're lovers. So they were like, you know what? We heard people can make it in LA. So they saved up $1,000 and moved to LA in the 80s. There were no cell phones or anything. They just heard that they have a friend of a friend in Los Angeles. Crazy, right? Can you imagine that? Like going to America, not speaking the language.
No,
And then trying to start a
so
life.
your both your parents are from Israel, both.
Yeah, both of them born in Israel. Also my grandparents.
Okay.
Yeah, they moved to LA to have a family and try and start a new life. And my father's like one of the hardest working men in the world.
Yes, in the 80s. Wow.
Yeah, so he just was like, screw it. I'm just gonna drop everything. I'm gonna move to America and I'm gonna figure it out.
Yes, there was just this dirt and that's it.
Yeah, so he didn't want me to have a hard life like he did. So he worked his ass off, and yeah, he really helped us out, and he was working 16 hours a day practically. And yeah, so then he bought me my first guitar. I started getting into music. I started obsessing about it. And growing up in LA, being like from an Israeli family, I'm not an American, but I'm also not an Israeli. I'm kind of lost. It was hard to make friends. Like kids would pick on me and
But
stuff.
you have the language though.
Yeah. Now for sure. Yeah, I was kind of a depressed, sad kid, and like it was hard for me to make friends and stuff. So I just sit in my room and play guitar all day and just try and figure it out. I'm reading guitar tablature, trying to learn how to play guitar.
When you figure it out that you love like electronic music or that type of style.
Yeah, so I feel like the first time
You
I was
went
hearing,
to a concert or something and
Yeah.
saw it to
So
a festival or.
I would say probably Radiohead Kid A was
Okay.
the first time that I started to hear like synthesizers and electronic stuff, and also Pink Floyd, like Dark Side of the
Yes,
Moon.
also.
And I started to
get
hear
with
these
synthesizers and
sounds, the
everything.
synthesizers, and like I feel like that was my introduction to electronic. And I was still staying in the band world, and I started a few bands, and they would always break up, and it'd be so hard to like get everybody together. And then I went to Burning Man. And I started to see, and I was like, whoa, I started to see these amazing custom sound systems, art cars. I saw Mayan Warrior and Maxa and Robot Heart, and I'm showing up Sunrise on my bike, like, what the hell is this scene? Like the rock scene has nothing like this. And such happy people. And like, like growing up as a kid, you go to a rock show, everybody's fighting and like, oh, I'm tough,
Yeah.
And then you go to the house music scene and Burning Man and stuff like that, and everybody's
Love and soul.
bliss, just heart
connection.
wide open.
Yes.
And that I just fell in love with right away. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, I can figure out how to DJ. I forgot to mention, like, because my dad was a DJ, naturally, my brother started DJing. My dad never told us that he was a DJ until like 20 years later. So my brother got turntables when he was like 13, 14 years old. And I think my dad bought it for him because he used to have turntables. So he's like, yeah, I guess I could give him.
But with the disco, no? The big ones.
Yeah, vinyl.
The vinyl.
Yeah, and my brother was spinning vinyl, like hip hop and jungle and drum and bass, and doing that vibe, playing at the like warehouses in LA and in San Bernardino and stuff. And so my brother got into the electronic music, but I was like straight up a rock kid. I loved rock, blues, funk, soul. And I just stayed in the bands and I was doing that. And then when I went to Burning Man, like 10, 15 years later, I was like, wait a minute, I think my brother had it right. Like these dance floors are incredible.
But you went by yourself or with friends?
I had my old roommate from college. He was like, hey, it was right after college. He was like, hey man, like I want to take you to lunch and talk to you. I'm like, okay, this sounds serious. Like, what's going on? Are you kicking me out of the house or what? And he takes me to lunch. Shane, thank you very much, bro. And he goes, so I'm in a camp at Burning Man and we've got one extra ticket. And they asked me to bring someone really special. And that person is you.
Cool.
And I want you to go. And I know it's only in 2 weeks, but I'm going to help you out. And I'm going to help you, like, I'm going to tell you everything you need to pack, but you got to come to Burning Man with me, brother. And I was like, you're crazy, bro.
So
like,
he gave you the tickets?
So back then, it was always sold out. It was like
Yes,
impossible
yes,
to get
now.
one. So now it's a little bit easier. Like the last 2 years, because of the rain, because of raining, man, people got scared. But back then, like, bro, you had to buy your ticket from someone who didn't want to go anymore. Straight up. You tried to go on the website
and
it's
sold out in a week.
It's sold out in seconds. You can't even log into the website. It's glitching. It has no idea what's going on because there's a million people trying to buy the tickets. So my friend said, like, hey, it's not easy to get a ticket. And my friend canceled. And we don't want to just let anyone into our camp. We want someone who's going to be like, contribute and be part of the community. And I would really love for you to come with us. So then I went there and it just blew my mind. And I was like, this is my place. This is my home.
I want to live in here. That's
And then I
put my tent.
Then I like went to any festival that I could. I'm like, I need to do the research. This is definitely my path. Like the festival scene, the house music scene, the light workers, people who shine and, you know, like don't go towards the darkness and stay positive and try and uplift people. And I just noticed there was so much of that. Now there's definitely the dark energy too, but like in the rock scene, I was seeing a lot more dark energy out.
More love and people with connection. No?
Yeah, in the Burning Man scene and in the electronic music scene, 100%.
Yes.
It was way more love. The rock scene is a little more ego and like drinking and people are getting drunk and fighting, you know, and hip hop too. And like, no shame to any of those. I love that music. But I just noticed like wherever I was at, you know, it could be very different in Argentina or like somewhere else, you know, but in Los Angeles, you know, people were just fighting at shows and like mosh pit, you know? And I was just a little kid getting beat up at shows.
Also here in Mexico, it's the same. In Israel also, it's the same.
Yeah, right? Like the rock scene and the hip hop scene, it's more aggressive.
Yeah, it's more aggressive.
You don't see like people with like hearts wide open hugging each other. They just met, all of a sudden they're friends for life, you know?
Yeah, but people don't go to the events just to dance and have a connection. They go there just maybe for the musicians or maybe to stay there because the people see them. No, I'm here. You know, like
it's kind of like a status thing.
Show off or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. So when I started going to music festivals like Lightning in a Bottle, Desert Hearts, Burning Man. Burning Man's not a festival, but whatever, you get it. I just started seeing such amazing dance floors with so much love. Like you could see like waves radiating off the top of people's heads from the energy, like in the sky. You're like, what is going on?
And in the desert, like, wow, what the fuck? This is crazy.
And then my first Burning Man sunrise, and people are crying and hugging, and I was like, this is my scene. No more bands. I'm gonna be a DJ.
Okay.
And so I got some turntables. I started playing like soul and funk and hip hop because that's what I kind of grew up on. And then I started getting, then I got CDJs, or I got a little controller, like a Denon controller for like $200. And I started to learn how to spin house music. And a friend, I was in San Diego at the time, and a friend of mine now, Hylas, he comes up to a bar. I was sitting at a bar that my roommate was working at, or my old bandmate, Seaton. And Seaton's bartending, and Hylas walks up and he goes, "Hey, Hylas, or hey, Seaton, I'm in a pinch. I've got this guy Monolink booked for the rooftop at Spin nightclub, and he needs all this like band equipment. Like he needs a boom stand. Like what's a boom mic stand? I don't even know what that is. And it's just a mic stand with the thing like that, you know, with the arm. And he's like, and he needs, you know, guitar equipment and stuff like that. And I'm like, and then Seaton's like, well, this is my old bandmate, and he's got everything.
You want to take it?
Ofier,
what works.
Ofier, meet Hylas. You guys take it from here. And so the next day I set up like a guitar amp for Monolink, and I set up my microphone, bring it into a 4-channel mixer, hook up the mixer into the DJ mixer. I give him a mic stand and my SM58 microphone, and then I see Monolink play, and I'm like, wow, this is fucking cool. This is really cool. And I saw he was working on Ableton and doing a live set, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this guy is really tapped in. I see the love on the dance floor. I see the way people look at him.
He's really talented, yes.
What's that?
He's really talented.
Oh, yeah, incredibly talented and such an amazing songwriter. And so I was like, wow, this is really inspiring. Like, I could do this, but I like DJing. I don't want to play, like, original music. I just want to, like, improvise. So I started improvising house music beats and, like, just going with the flow, reading the crowd, mixing, and then picking up my guitar. In the beginning, I started kind of like classic house and funky and like happy vibes. And I was just shredding funk licks over house beats, and I was playing way too much guitar and like figuring it out, you know? And then eventually I started traveling to Tulum, and now I've gone to Burning Man a few times, and I started hearing a more sophisticated sound. And I saw Bora Uzer play in Tulum, and I noticed, like, you know what? And Bora Uzer actually mentioned something to me. He's like, hey, bro, you play too much. You need to tone it back. Like, stay in the pocket. And then I started to refine it. And I realized that it's not about the ego. Like, with shredding guitar is an ego thing. Look at me, I can play, cool. Yeah. And then I realized, like, no, need to step back. And I started learning how to produce. And now I'm approaching my DJ sets as a songwriter. And I imagine my guitar is just one little piece of a part of a band. And the songs that I'm DJing, they're already done.
Yes, they're already done.
You don't need to play a bunch of music over it. They're already done. So then I started to really refine it and simplify the way I play and be more intentional and just find beautiful harmonies and stuff like that. But I wanted to keep it improvisational, and nobody was doing that. You know, Monolink, like, he writes his song, and then he's performing his song. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful, and he's become massively successful for it. But I feel like I was the first person who started, like, I just look at the crowd and I make the decision there. What song am I going to play? It might be mine. It might be somebody else's. And then I grab the guitar and I put on my headphone and put in the cue, and I start feeling around. I'm like, oh, there's the key. And then I listen,
you get in the song, and
then I just start.
The song you put it.
Yeah, and then people could see me figuring it out live, and they're like, "Whoa, this is cool."
Yes.
Because there's kind of a magic to see someone kind of like, wait, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just figuring it out right now. None of this is planned.
It's a song, and he's playing with that song.
Yeah, and then
together,
doing it really tastefully and in the pocket. And then I started doing this, and I've done it for now like over 10 years.
So the first time you played it was with Monolink?
No, so I just
put just the equipment.
Thanks for asking me that. So I just put the equipment for him, and then when I set up the equipment, I was playing some guitar over a beat or something, and then the Hylas, who hired me to set up the equipment, he goes, "Next month you're playing."
Oh.
So like I got to play a little bit like for sound check, and they heard me, and the staff heard me, and everybody's like, this is kind of cool. And then the next month
you can do it.
The next month he does it, and I had never played on CDJs before at that point. I had only played on vinyl with Serato. And so then I went to Guitar Center the day before the show. I was opening up for Atish and Evan Casey and Dinkin Hylas. And I went And like literally, like my friend Drew from San Diego, he let me practice on his CDJs once, and then I went to Guitar Center and practiced on Guitar Center once, played on CDJs twice, and then went and opened the show for Atish. Crazy, but sometimes you just have to throw yourself in the fire, right?
Yes.
And so show went amazing. I played way too high energy for an opener. I was so oblivious. But everybody loved it. I thought I was the headliner with the music I was playing. I was like playing like
Yes, all the people like love
funky,
the feeling you're putting in music. You know?
Yeah, and it was just super groovy, high energy. But like as an opener, now I know it's like, come on, bros, you're warming up the room. Like, wait your turn. You'll be a headliner someday. So I was just playing bangers and ripping guitar solos. And people loved it, and I grew like a small following from that in San Diego, a local following. And then I started throwing my own parties in San Diego, and I teamed up with my little brother, and we started a thing called Kino Village. It was a record label and a party series, and we started throwing after parties for whenever there was like festivals in San Diego, like Crossed or whatever. We would rent out a wedding venue. Because all the clubs would be sold out. So we're like, well, let's rent a wedding venue. There's 20,000 people in town for Crossed. Let's rent a wedding venue, partner up with some other brands, and let's throw our own little mini festival. And we grew it. Our biggest one was like 1,200 people or something like that.
Okay,
and we would have 3 stages. I would do one stage that was like outdoor, more like organic vibe. There would be like palm trees, and I'd build a tent and decorate it really nicely. And then there would be an indoor stage, more tech house, more techno. And then one year I did like a Moroccan tent in the back, and I hired these guys, good friends of mine, Cafe Bosna. They actually just did their thing at Mayan Warrior. So they like set up a lounge, and they're making Bosnian coffee on the like old school, like kind of like the Bedouins or like the Turkish.
With the sand.
Yeah, they're on the sand making coffee, and then they have instruments everywhere, and they're just playing like down tempo music, and people are like sipping coffee.
More chill out.
And they got drums and shakers and everywhere, and people are just jamming with them, and they got belly dancers and stuff. It was so cool. Beautiful. Yeah, it was such a beautiful event. And then once I started throwing events in San Diego that were a massive success, then I started getting booked in San Diego. And then
do you have a manager, or you are your own
manager? I've been self-represented the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because all the artists, not all, but almost, they have a manager or a company that they grow them, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I just kind of was like obsessed with everything, so I showed up to all the events. People met me, and they liked me as a human. And then luckily, someone in the room who was reputable was like, "Have you ever seen him play?" Yeah. And they're like,
"Where is the best place you play at the moment?" Like,
wow, I would say when I went to Tulum, and the first time I played a jungle party in Tulum.
Okay.
That was just magic for me. When I
like what, like Day Zero, something like that.
Same vibe, but not actually Day Zero. It was Set Underground, and then there were some other ones. I played for my friend Rafa. He threw like his own renegade jungle party, and I was playing with Armin Miran, and it was just so incredible. There's something about like you take this bus, or like those the little buses, the commuter buses, and
el pecero,
el pecero, exacto. So you're going like through the trees. You drive outside of Tulum City. You start driving into the jungle. There's trees everywhere. And you start to hear like the rumble of the bass, and then you start to see the lasers.
Yeah, they go inside.
And you're driving further in. It's dirt roads with holes. The bus is like on its side. Like you think it's gonna flip over. There's like 20 people crammed into the bus.
You're feeling in Hollywood.
Everybody's like, "Where the fuck are we going?" And you start going there, and then you start to see the lights, and you start to hear the bass, and you get out of this thing. And you're walking through trees, and lasers are coming through the trees. It's the coolest thing I ever seen. And then I got to perform at this party eventually after like a couple years of going to Tulum. I went to day zero as a fan, and then I came back and then started playing some after parties. I brought my guitar. I'm like, hey, you need me to play an after party? I'm down. Met the right people, got to play. I played an after party, and then a few of the right people saw me, and then they started to help me. They're like, wait, you don't live here? You should. So during COVID, I went back and I played this after party for my friend Maggie's birthday. And my friend now, Kelly, she saw me and she's like, hey, I work for this guy, Luis, and Luis Guajardo here in Mexico City.
Yes.
And she's like, hey, he throws parties here in Tulum. Like, he does some really nice stuff with like Guy Gerber, Jan Blomqvist, whatever. And so she's like, I want to connect you with him. So Kelly, thank you, Kelly. I love you. She connects me and she's like, hey, Luis, this guy plays guitar and he plays like really nice music. Like, you should check him out. So we were at Vagaloom and Savage and She was headlining. And then Kelly comes up to me and she goes, Savage and She is playing at a villa down the street here, like on the beach. You're going to play with them.
Wow.
And I was like, what? Mansion party on the beach. And I went, I got to open up the show, and a lot of the who's who type people were there, and they saw me, and like everybody's on their Instagram, like, what the hell? Who's this?
Yeah,
They're like
this is
filming.
different. We want it in every places.
Yeah, and I got to play that party. It was absolutely amazing. The vibe was incredible. I performed. My little brother performed. My friend, my now friend, Kid Bamboo got to perform, and Savage and She. And then I became friends with the local DJs and the people who came for COVID, because nobody could work anywhere. And Tulum, you know, it was outdoor dining only, you know, like in America, it was only outdoor dining. So Mexico, in Tulum, everything is outdoor dining.
Yeah.
So everything's open.
Everything's open.
So like, you brought your mask, everybody put their mask on to get in, and then they can throw a party outdoors. And a lot of people were not happy about that, and I get it, but I had to pay my rent. You know, I wanted to work. I didn't want to sit around, and like, so I made that call, and I started to play the outdoor events in Tulum, and I played that first party, and then I flew back to San Diego, and I text Luis Guajardo. I'm like, yeah, hey, bro, thank you so much. It was really nice to meet you. I really enjoyed my time. Like, maybe I'll come back for Halloween or something for your event to come just check it out. And he's like, wait, you left? I already am working on booking you at Vagaloom this Sunday.
Wow.
He's like, I just got you at a show at Vagaloom. What are you doing? It's like the best Sunday party.
Stay more time, no?
The best club. He's like, stay. And I'm like, I just landed in San Diego. Like, I'm already gone, brother.
I think I never play and come back.
He's like, I literally went home. I packed up all my shit and went back 48 hours later. I didn't leave for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And I spent 2 seasons in Tulum.
But you can say, like, in Tulum, they give you show it yourself.
Yeah.
The first time, like, for the people, and they know you in there, and from there, now you're playing around the world.
Yeah, so Tulum, because it was COVID, everybody was coming from all over the world. The Ibiza crew came, the Berlin people came,
yes,
American, the Mexico City crew came, and I got to meet
all the Israelis, for sure.
Yeah, all the Israelis were there too. So then, now people from all over the world had seen me play, and I had an international fan base and an international connection.
Wow.
So then right away, as soon as COVID was over, I was getting calls from Colombia, from Bolivia, Argentina, New York, Chicago, San Diego, LA, San Francisco, and it just put me on the map. And I owned a real estate company at the time, and I was doing property management, and so I had residual income. So I was like, you know what? I can go tour the world right now. I have money. I can really invest it, and I think this is my path.
What you want to do it, for sure.
This is what I want to do. I think this is my path. I have a lot to share, and people were telling me how my set like uplifted them and they were really depressed or something like that, or going through a hard breakup. And then my set uplifted them, and then they met their future wife at my party. And hearing stories like that, I was like, oh my God, this is so much more powerful than I realized. And for me, I'm just addicted to playing and performing, and I didn't realize I was touching people. And when I started to hear those stories, I'm like, screw business, screw everything else. It's all about the music. It's all about sharing. I'm a healer. I think I could heal people. I think
with the music, for sure.
Yeah.
the most important healer, more than medicines and everything. I think,
yeah, 100%. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. My father, he got cancer, and he was going through chemo, and he was not doing well. He was in basically his deathbed. He's rolling around going, no more. And
you started to play for him.
he was like that for 2 weeks. And then I showed up. I'm like, I come in, it's fluorescent lights everywhere. I'm like, yo, the vibe is off. There's machines beeping. There's fluorescent lighting. He's trying to sleep. He's rolling around. He's completely hallucinating. He's got so much chemo in him. And he just wants to die. And I was sat with him for 24 hours. I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I'm listening to him, like, really, really, really struggling with it. And he was going down and down and down, deep depression. And so I go to my car, I grab my Bluetooth speaker on my guitar, I grab like a couple plants, and I vibe it out. And the doctor told me, he's like, look, your dad's not doing good. You need to come here now. And he needs to see his children. He needs something to live for, because he's not doing well. He's not responding. He's not eating. He's not walking. And it's been 2 weeks since the treatment. Like, wow. He's not recovering. So I was in Colombia at the time, and they're like, SOS, like, come home. And so I flew from Colombia I was in Medellin, and I flew back. And I go in there and I see all the fluorescent lights and stuff. I'm like, of course he's not doing well. This is horrible. I can't sit in this room. And I'm not going through cancer and chemo, So then I asked the nurse, I'm like, hey, can I vibe out the room? I want to light candles. I want to turn off the lights.
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to play some music. And I go, and I know my dad loves Jimi Hendrix. So I grab my guitar, I grab a speaker, and I put on Foxy Lady, and I start jamming along to Foxy Lady. And my dad's like rolling around, and then all of a sudden he hears like dum dum bang, da, boom boom, and immediately he's like this. He's like this, rolling like no more. Immediately he goes,
he needed
what? Jimmy?
Yeah.
Foxy Lady. Completely hallucinating. Comes out of his like whatever deep dark depression it was, and then the nurses come running in, and they're like, Ami, how are you doing? Do you know your name? And he starts responding. He starts they have like a bunch of questions that they ask you. They say, do you know your name? Do you know what this is? And they hold up like a water bottle.
Yeah,
like, tell me what this is.
You remember everything.
He couldn't even, before that, he couldn't even tell you what a pen was. Yes. He couldn't tell you his name. He couldn't tell you my name. And he's just like, he was just like that. I played him Foxy Lady, and I started playing guitar for him. He gets out of bed. First time he starts eating. First time he starts drinking. First time he's willing to cooperate with the nurses. And next day, he's out of bed dancing with my mom, because now they're like, okay, this is it. We need to play him music. And music saved his life, straight up.
Super nice story, bro.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And once that happened, I was like, I'm full-time music. This is my path. I don't care if it works or not. I'm doing music through and through. I'm seeing this till the end for sure.
Wow.
And this
now your new name is Ofier the Healer.
Yeah, bro.
In las redes, I'm going to say this in Spanish.
Yeah.
En las redes sociales aquí abajo, por favor, para que las pongan. Síganos aquí, Global Beat Sessions, abajo de nosotros. Sigan a Ofier también en sus redes sociales. Lo pueden seguir en Spotify para que escuchen un poco de su música, conozcan un poco más de quién es él. La verdad es que tiene música muy, muy bonita. Toca de manera espectacular. Por favor, síganos a todos, sigan a Global Beat Sessions, díganme Ofier para que puedan conocer un poco más de él y lo podamos llevar por más partes del mundo para que lo conozcan. Seguimos en inglés, pero para que nos sigan en redes. So,
yeah,
it's a really nice story, bro.
healed my dad. That was one of the most powerful things I've ever seen in my life and ever done in my life. And then I knew this is my path and this is my passion and I have to see it through. And it's such a struggle being a musician, especially an independent artist. And I didn't go to music school. I have no clue what I'm doing, bro.
You are the one you saw, bro. You're going by like what you're feeling.
Yeah.
You feel the moment and you do it. That's it.
Exactly. And through college, I started getting into yoga and working out and spirituality. And I started realizing, like, you know, I need to stop working for money and ego. Because when I started making money when I was younger, I was like, oh, I got money. I'm the man. Like, I can do whatever I want. And then I got checked pretty well a few times. And I realized, like, it's not about me. You know, it's about the community. It's about love. It's about sharing light. It's about unconditional love.
So when you do the thing with on a mission for a mission or something, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
because
100%.
everything just it's like a magic.
Yeah,
you
100%.
go to somewhere and God gives you, I don't know what, so whatever the energy, whatever
exactly.
comes and gives you everything. Like you have to do it because you have a way, you have where you want to do it. You have a matara, no?
Yeah, and I think when you do live from a place of like unconditional love and you're just giving without expectation, it gets you through the hard times for sure. Like I've been in the worst financial situation before and I just trusted that like music is the way and just offered help to friends and stuff like that. And like my rent's about to be due and I can't even pay my rent. Boom, a gig comes exactly how much rent.
The moment, no?
The day before.
I don't have a penny and everything comes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, be happy.
Yeah, exactly. The rent to the T right there. That's exactly how much money I needed to pay my rent. I get a booking that day, the day before rent. And so I just started following breadcrumbs and trusting my gut and following like people who give me a good vibe and who are light, you know, who believe in the light as well and are light workers and doing good and not doing this out of greed. They're doing it out of, you know, love for the music and the passion, and they're paying out of their pocket. Like a lot of people don't realize, like a lot of these parties, even though there's thousands of people, like the promoter's paying out of their pocket a lot of the time. They're losing money. Like we're all drowning out here. So buy some t-shirts, buy another drink at the bar, because you know, the ones who are doing it themselves, we are drowning straight up. And like sometimes you kill it, but then you drown for a while and then you kill it again and then you drown for a while. And
that's life.
Yeah, and that's life. And if you're not in it for the music itself and for the love and for the passion, you're not going to survive, you know? Yes. And I'm just obsessed. Like I know there's nothing else I can do. And
what's the funniest thing that have ever happened to you in a show or an event?
The most fun?
Yeah, the most fun. Or the worst thing, whatever. You can tell me both.
The worst thing?
The worst thing and the most fun.
Okay. So I met a guy in LA who's now one of my best friends. His name's Morpe Agustin. And he saw me perform in LA at a warehouse party at Freaky Friday, and it was a sunrise set, and I was playing with Lee Reynolds and Fritz Carlton, and I'm jamming guitar, and they're going back to back. And he's like, he comes up to me after, he's like, bro, that was incredible. You play such nice guitar. I play guitar as well. I'm also a producer. I just signed a track to Desert Hearts. I'm from Bolivia. You have to come to my country. I think my people will love you. And Americans don't really come to Bolivia to perform. I would love it for you to come to Bolivia. So he brings me to Bolivia, and like a few months later, or we book a tour in Bolivia, and the tour's all set. We have all the venues. We have 5-city tour, Santa Cruz, La Paz, Tarija, Cochabamba, and Sucre. And like 2-3 months before the tour, there's a revolution. Okay. And the people are trying to overthrow the government. And there's literally like the young people starting a militia. They're putting like gasoline in bottles, lighting it, throwing it at the police. Like the people are trying to overcome because they're so like suppressed, and it was really hard times in Bolivia, and it was they wanted to overthrow the government. So we have to cancel the whole tour, right? Okay. We're like, we can't throw parties in the middle of a civil war.
Yes.
It's literally a civil war, like the crazy. So it was like the highest high. I'm going
we are not in the 80s, no?
Yeah. It's like the highest high. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be the first American to do a 5-city tour in Bolivia. Nobody's ever done that before. And then it gets taken away from me. And I'm like, oh shit. It's the lowest low. And then like a week before the festival, or before the tour was supposed to happen, or 2 weeks before, I get a call and he goes, Ofier, the president just resigned. The people won.
Wow.
All the venues are now reopening. They don't have any bookings. We could throw this tour. Are we doing this? And I'm like, let's fucking go, bro. So then now the tour is back on. I can't make the first 2 weeks, so I join on the third week, and it's in his hometown, Cochabamba. I fly into Cochabamba, and first night we get there, and we check into the Airbnb. We're going out into the bars. I met all the like opening DJs and the people who run the record label. It's called Burry Loop. Amazing group of DJs, and we party our asses off the first night. First night, 2 of the guys start to get in a scuffle, breaks his head open on a pole.
Wow.
Has to get like 12 stitches. We're like, Nico, don't worry, it just looks worse than it is.
You have to use a mask or something.
Yeah, we're like, oh, it's just bleeding a lot because it's your head. You know, he's got a puddle of blood on the ground. We see him in fetal position. And we're like, Nico, what the fuck happened, bro? And so Nico, we take him to the hospital the next day. They show me pictures. His head is completely split open. But anyways, so that's night 1. My first night on tour in Bolivia. Night 2 is the actual party. We go to the event space, and we set up. Everything's going good. We set up line array. I just made like my first remix ever on the plane there. I did like a Moby remix, and so we sound check, everything's going good, the party starts, it's amazing. The 2 opening DJs, Pedro and Nico, play, they kill it, the vibes are high, packed house, incredible party. And then I go on and I play my set, and Morpe comes on with me, we start to go back to back, and then all of a sudden we see like the whole crowd moving. And we're like, what the hell is going on? And the whole crowd's moving. And I'm like, Morpe, like, there's a fight. Go check it out. He runs down there, and then I keep DJing, and he comes back to me. He's like, oh, shit, like, Pedro and Nico got in a fight with some kids. Like, some kids slapped them or whatever, and then they had security throw them out or whatever. Turns out those kids were gangsters, and their cousins were gangsters.
Okay. So
we're throwing the party and whatever. And all of a sudden, Pedro comes running out. He's got a hole in his shirt like this.
What the fuck? With a knife.
Yeah, with a knife. And we go, and we're DJing still. And we're like, what's going on? And Pedro's like, that kid that slapped me, we slapped him around a little bit and we threw him out of the club. And now like 5 of his homies are outside with knives.
No way.
And they're waiting for us.
So you went to the hospital right away?
He didn't get cut. It was just his shirt.
Just shirt.
He went like this. Wow. He comes swiping, and he went back, and then it hit the shirt.
Wow.
And then the security grabbed him and brought him back into the club.
I got the story, bro.
So then we finish our back-to-back. The closing DJ goes on, and we're like, let's go check this out. And we go to the front, and now there isn't 5 guys. There's 10 guys. And they're all waiting outside, smoking cigarettes, drinking tequila or whatever they're drinking, and they're just hanging out. And just now waiting, the guys are getting bigger, and the neck tattoos are getting longer. And like, and we're like, oh shit, well, we still have 4 hours. Like, let's call the cops. We're calling the police. No one's answering. It's 4 a.m. in Bolivia. The police are not answering. They're sleeping. and there's now like 10 gangsters outside. So I'm like, fuck, what do we do? Maybe we sneak out the back. We go run, we jump on the roof, we look at the back. There's 3 guys on the ladder waiting, scraping the ladder with a knife. They're like, Nico, Pedro, ven aquí.
No,
And we're
mames.
like, oh my God. So we think we're, oh,
Also, if you get out, everyone knows you are the guys because you're in Bolivia, bro.
yeah, bro. And we're throwing the party and we're associated. And the DJs that got in a fight with them, they're the DJs, they're part of our record label. So I'm like terrified, the most scared I've ever been in my life.
But what happens
bro.
with the staff? With the guys with the staff or the managers or whatever?
The staff, everybody's inside the club, and the gangsters are just in the street, like waiting across the street, just like waiting for people to come outside. And they're like, Nico, Pedro, ven aquí, güey, come outside. Or Beludo, they're like, come outside. And so I'm like, what the hell are we gonna do? And Morpe, now it's like 5 a.m. And Morpe comes to me, he's like, bro, let's take a shot of tequila and go talk to them. And I was like, they just swung a knife at Pedro. Are you crazy?
Yeah, they're gonna
Like-
kill us.
Like, no way am I going out there. Like, I'm like terrified. He's like, trust me, bro. We were DJing when the fight happened. So why are they gonna hurt us? We were DJing.
Yes.
And I was like, we don't know. Like, they look like they just want to fuck someone up right now. so we take a shot of tequila. He's like, just trust me, bro. Let's do it. And so we take a shot of tequila. We start to walk out to the thing. We get to the gate, and I see them, and now it's like 30 of them. They keep growing and growing,
Wow.
and they're having a party in the street ready to jump us. Straight up, they're ready to kill us. And so we walk out, and then right away, like right when we get out, and Morpe's like, put your guitar on your back so they know that you're a musician, you know? So I put my guitar on my back. We start to walk outside, and they all see us, and they're all partying and like talking and like having a good time. And then all of a sudden, all of them silent, and they look at us, and they're like, smoke their cigarette, throw it down, and then we're like, oh fuck, bro, like it's about to go down. And we're like, hey, like what's up? And then they say in Spanish, like, you're the motherfucker with the guitar? And then Morpe's like,
You're so good. Huh?
they're like, Morpe's like, yeah, he was the headliner, he's from America, he's the DJ. And like, buenísimo, hermano. Vamos, come here. You want some LSD? Bro, I have a tattoo shop. You want a
Get the
tattoo?
tequila, whatever.
You have to come here, have a shot. So we start partying with the gangsters in the street.
Yes. But inside,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa, I'm going with them or not.
Yeah, like I thought they were about to kill me. When they stop, everybody gets silent and they look at me like serious. And I'm like, oh my God. And they all start, we're partying with them now. And they're offering us like LSD and shots of tequila and stuff. And we're like, bro, what is going on? So then Morpe's like, hey man, so I'm sorry about what happened. Can I buy you a bottle of tequila? Like, can we make this roll over? And they're like, oh bro, don't worry, you guys are good. But Nico and Pedro, they're fucking dead, bro. And we're like, what? And he's like, yeah, they disrespected us. They're fucking dead, bro. And we're like, not actually dead, but like when they come out, we're taking care of them. And then we go from like the lowest low to the highest high, back to the lowest low. We're starting to sweat. We're like, oh my God, like what do we do now? Party's over in like an hour. So then we hide Nico, and the party's about to end. We're calling the cops. They're still not answering. So we decide we're gonna hide Nico and Pedro inside the club, and then we're gonna leave and close the doors and pretend like they escaped. So the owner's like, get the fuck out of here. They already got out of here. They went out the back, blah, blah, blah. So we leave, we close the club, they lock it up with chains or whatever, and then we go and we sit down at like a little, we grab a cafecito at a little like kiosk on the street, and we look back, and the gangsters are starting to shake the gate, and they break it open,
No way.
and then they go in. And then they're skipping through the club, scraping knives on the wall like, Pedrito, Nico. And it's a huge club with multiple rooms, so they're searching for a while.
Oh, man.
And then we leave and we're like calling them and texting them. We're like, they're in. Like, hide, bro, hide. They're like hiding behind a little like cooler freezer like
We're in a fucking movie, bro.
Yeah, straight out of movie, bro. They're hiding under the cooler or something, like a beer cooler. They're like hiding behind it. They've got 2 mic stands ready to like fight for their life with like a mic stand, because that's the only thing that was there in the office. And then they start to feel we go to the after party and we're like, just come here if you get out, like whatever, like guys, good luck. Like we don't know what to do. And then Nico and Pedro are inside the office, and then they hear the like doorknob start to jiggle, and they're like, "Oh fuck!" And they like look at each other and they're like, "All right, man, it's fucking on."
We are ready.
And it starts to jiggle, and the door opens, and finally it's the fucking police.
Oh,
And they show up, and they're like, "Get
thanks
the
God.
fuck out of here! What the fuck are you guys doing?" Like, and the police saved their ass, got there in the last second while it kicked all the gangsters out before they could find them. Can you believe that shit, bro? Like,
But, and now if somebody asks you to go again to Bolivia, you go or no?
oh, I've been every year since, bro. We throw a festival every year now for Año Nuevo.
Wow, thank
Yeah,
you.
so we've been building up a house music collective out there, and Buriloop just got a 5-room like compound where we have a school for teaching DJs and producers. We have a place to record live sets, like very similar to your setup. We just got it like a few months ago, and the team in Bolivia is just building that up. We believe in education and teaching the youth, and throwing events, and we want to, like, grow the house music scene out there, because it's reggaeton is huge, but house music is still kind of growing. So we've been building
It's growing
it
a lot right now. These years, I think the kind of music in the world are grow a lot.
Yeah. So we've been working on it. We did a lot of like Latin house with live guitars, what I did, and then Morpe knew like, hey, if I bring this American with a guitar and he's playing like sexy, vibey stuff with guitar, even if the reggaeton people will probably like it, and we started building it over time, and now we're doing a festival, and we'll be launching. We took this year off because, again, there was some political issues, and we weren't sure if there's going to be a civil war or not, so we canceled this year, but next year it's on. Yeah, so we're doing it again, and it's going to be like a 5 to 7 day event, kind of like Art Week, and we'll just use multiple venues and bring DJs from all over the world, and so thank you to the Bolivia team. Shout out to the Buriloop crew. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you not to kill him.
Yeah. So that was the scariest moment of my DJ career for sure.
A new question. Many people describe your music as perfect in deserts, beaches, or sunsets. How the locations influence your creative process, or how you make your music? How you I don't know how to say it in English. Like, ¿cómo influye todo esto en tu creatividad?
Yeah. So when I started going to Burning Man and Tulum and playing on the beaches and stuff like that, I always felt like I could feel the environment. I'm very much an empath. I feel the energy of the room. I feel people. I feel when people are sad. I feel when people are excited. And so when I come to a place like this, when I come to the beach, and when I come to the jungle, I really like to curate a vibe that's appropriate for it. I feel the energy, and I'm just kind of free flowing, and I'm searching for sounds on my hard drive that are going to be appropriate. And then when I started going to Tulum and Burning Man, I started hearing all of this and being in that environment, the vibe kind of channels through me. I like to lose myself because I'm doing a lot of improvisational stuff. I like to get into flow state and kind of like lose, ditch the ego, ditch what you're doing and just feel and vibe and come from a place of pure like beauty and really feel. I'm in such a beautiful like nature, so like it flows right through. Like I close my eyes, I take a deep breath, and then I try and create music that is appropriate for the vibe. And I always have been really good at adapting to the environment. And I could play music for the warehouse. Like I love to get down and dirty for the warehouse and play hard.
Why
bangers.
Mexico?
Why Mexico?
Why Mexico? I think why
So-
Mexico, because the crowd in here is a little, it's difficult, you know, it's not the same vibe.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when you
sure.
come here, you need to make it more with more strength, with more
Yeah.
heart. I think because the people in here they have a lot of type of music.
Yeah, for sure. And when I was living in Tulum, I met a lot of Mexico City guys, and then I started hearing indie dance and like dark disco and roboyedo and stuff like that, and I got really into it. I'm like, oh, that's the sound they like. So I always do my homework. I go check like who are the clubs booking, go find some videos. What are they playing? What are the sounds that are making
What's the
people go
groove,
like
no?
this? Yeah, what's the groove? And I do my homework and make sure I come correct with it. And so yeah, I like to adapt to every country. People always say like, what do you play? I'm like, what country am I in? What room am I in? And what time is it? That's what I'm gonna play.
Okay.
I'm not gonna come with a plan, you know. I'm gonna adapt to the situation because it's a balance between me sharing my music and what they love and finding right in the middle.
In the middle.
Yeah.
To connect.
And yeah, I think that is the best way, and that is our job as DJs. You know, it's not for me to just play my music.
What's your new track you are making right now? Or
So I just released a track. It was a Henry Pope bars and Lazarus Man. Lazarus Man's like a poet and DJ. I did a remix for them for their EP,
oh, nice.
and it just released last month. And
What
actually,
gender is it?
I would say it's. I mean, fuck
It's
genre.
indie.
Fuck genres. It's like a blend of genres. You
Okay.
know? It's a vibe. It's groovy. It's sexy. It's a
So
little
it's
bit
what, like a
deep.
blues?
I would say it's a mixture of indie, and there's a little bit of Afro conga in
Oh,
there, and a little bit techie, and it's just kind of a just
Yes, Afro indie dance, something like that.
yeah,
because-
exactly, like Afro
indie house.
exactly. It's just kind of a blend of everything with a little bit of guitar, and
I think now all the DJs are like connecting all the music together.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
you have like you know, it's not tech house, it's like indie tech house melodic.
Yeah, exactly,
It's crazy,
exactly.
but right now it's what the people are looking for.
Yeah, for sure. So I like to mix indie with like Afro Latin with like Berlin sound. Those three, that's my sauce right there,
Wow.
with a bit of Ofier guitar on top. So it's like,
But right now we're going to listen to you.
yeah, brother.
Because right now we're going to play with him together, and he's gonna play for us also like, here in GBS.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Also you can follow us and go to the link on YouTube. We are going to put the set maybe in 2-3 weeks, and we will send you the dates to get in and see us playing together.
Yeah, I'm so excited
Pretty
to jam
awesome.
with you. And it's like right on brand. Like, let's improv. We've never played together before. So
It's the first time, but
First
I think
time.
we will do it very good.
I'm ready to make some magic, baby. So yeah, so that song, it was called Body Leaves Soul, and I did a remix to the original was like proper indie and like very like, you know, prime time, like hard. And so I wanted to like bring it down a notch in energy, but make it more groove and a little bit more vibey and psychedelic. So I have this crazy psychedelic breakdown, and it's a really cool track. And it actually, it's funny because I was in New Year's Eve in Cabo. I was playing the Maxa Aha Baja party at Gonzo.
Yeah.
And I played the after party because we canceled the festival in Bolivia. I hit up Austin Gavlak and I was like, hey, brother, I remember how you said you wanted me at your party? Well, I'm not throwing my festival anymore. I understand you've already booked the whole festival, but could you squeeze me in an after party or something? He's like, yeah, I'll give you a wristband in the festival. Come play the after party at the hotel. And I was like, sick. So I'm there, and that was like one of the most incredible experiences. And I was hanging out with Yamaguchi and Omri and a lot of guys that I really look up to who make amazing music. And I've been following them for a long time.
And now Mita made a really good concert in Israel. You saw it with
the
With
orchestra?
the orchestra. Crazy shit.
No
What
mama's
the
way.
fuck?
Fucking incredible,
Yes.
bro. Mita is
Mita,
also
yes,
one of
now
my
it's-
favorites.
Wow.
Such
He's
an
growing
inspiration.
like a musician, but in another level.
Yeah, and they deserve it, man. The whole Maccabi team is phenomenal. All the
phenomenal.
guys coming in their wake, phenomenal.
Also,
every
Omri,
single-
right now he comes. And also, he did
Yeah.
it really well.
Yeah, I've performed with Omri like a couple times now, and then I've gone to festivals that he's played at. I've seen him like 5-6 times now in the last few months, and bro, every time.
You play almost the same line, no?
If that's the crowd, you
Yes.
know, I'll definitely play that vibe. I like to always include like the Israeli indie dance for sure. Like I've been playing that for years.
Yes. Also,
Now they blew up, so I'm like, fuck, I can't play those tracks anymore. It's funny like that. I've kind of.
I love the indie dance, the old indie dance from
Yeah.
Israel, because they have like it's also these ones are really good, but
Yeah.
the old ones have it's almost the same group, but I think it's more
psychedelic, right?
more I don't know, more Arabic thing.
Oh yeah,
Mediterranean thing,
But
and
it's
give
like
it-
an Arabic scale, but
Yes.
on these crazy synthesizers. and
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Yeah, totally. I feel you on that.
Just I think we need to do something like that right now because the people also want it, but nobody is doing.
Yeah. No, there's somebody doing it. We're just not looking.
Oh, maybe,
There's
yes.
always-
yes, always is.
There's so much music,
Yes,
bro.
yes.
Like something I always learn, like, don't assume that nobody's doing it.
No, for sure.
Because there is some kid in a basement making some crazy shit.
I need a last question
Mm-hmm.
for this podcast, and it's a question I ask for every artist comes here. If you can give to the kids, to your how to say to seguidores, your followers, to your followers, an advice to be a good musician, to be in this way, to connect with music, what would be your advice for them?
Great question.
Yes.
I would say, stick with it. Spend time learning your craft. Get obsessed. You're not going to be great in the beginning. Nobody is. Everybody tells me you're so gifted. I'm like, no, I'm just a hard worker. I was terrible when I started playing guitar. I was terrible when I started DJing. I was worse than everybody else, but I had a really good work ethic. And my dad always taught me, work your ass off. Like, play me a song front to back perfectly. What is the shit you're playing? Like, so my dad was really hard on me. And, I would say, keep practicing, put in those 10,000 hours. That's how you become a master. It's not from looking at YouTube videos and all that. Like, obviously that's what you need to do. And it's great to get lessons, but it comes from within. You have to be a relentless worker. All the people at the top right now, they're like Kobe Bryant status. If you see like a hot girl DJ and you think, oh, she slept with the promoter or something. No, she's working her ass off. She's working harder than anyone else. That's why she's in that room. So work your butt off, stay positive, love unconditionally, spread light, and people will have your back. And just trust the process and take your time. It's going to take years. It could happen in 1 year, but most of us have been doing this for over 10 years, and then we pop off. There's a saying, like, everybody blows up overnight after 10 years, So stick with it. Remember that at the end of the day, it's your therapy. Don't worry about blowing up. Don't worry about like feeding your ego. If you really love the music, stick with it. Study as much as you can. If you could go to school, go to school. You'll probably do it a lot quicker than I did because I was just trying to teach myself. And that is definitely not the best route, but it also is a great route because now I have a really cool style from the mistakes that I made, So now it's that human element that's my my natural way of playing might be the wrong way, but it sounds kind of cool now that I've perfected it, and, just stick with it. And music is your therapy. It's going to do so much for your soul. So if you're a young producer and artist, just do the reps every day. Get on Ableton every day. Pick up your guitar every day. Play the piano. Whatever your thing is, have fun and put in those 10,000 hours. It's the most rewarding thing ever. There's no better feeling than when you learn a song that took you 2 months to learn and you put in that work. So stay positive, be good to people, spread love. Don't listen to anyone who isn't in the seat that you want to sit in, because your parents are going to tell you to get a real job. People who aren't doing what you want to do are trying to give you recommendations and tell you to do other things. And the only person, it's all coming from within, and just stay positive and keep doing it. After 10 years, 15, 20 years, you will pop off. It's inevitable. And you will become one of the greatest if you actually stick with it. So that's my recommendation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you to come.
And let's jam, bro.
Yeah, let's jam. Síganos de nuevo en redes. Están aquí abajo las redes para que las sigan. Spotify, Instagram. ¿Cuáles son tus redes para que les digas?
My Instagram is Ofier, Ofier, Ofier. Eso, mil gracias. Te amo.
Muchas gracias. Estamos aquí en Global Beat Sessions, los esperamos pronto. Estamos aquí todos los miércoles, todos los días de la semana. Tratemos de seguir un poco más a las redes, a Global, para que conozcan un poco más de los artistas internacionales y poder conocer un poco más de sus vidas. Muchas gracias por venir, gracias por estar con nosotros. Es un placer tenerte acá, hermano.
Gracias, mi bro.
Que siempre se esté repitiendo cosas grandes. Muchas gracias a todos, buenas noches. Ahora nos vemos para el set. Gracias.
Chao, chao.